213 Rock with Harrag Melodica on Vinylestimes Classic Rock Radio.
On your Rock Station on Vinylestimes, the classic rock radio en direct ce soir. J'ai un grand monsieur à vous présenter, Venom Inc. There is only black, Mr. Tony Dolan of Venom Inc. Hi Tony, nice to meet you, man.
Bonjour, ça va? Bonsoir, I think it is evening. But nice to meet you too, and hi to everyone.
Hi Tony, yeah, I'm really happy for talking to you on tonight on 213 Rock Show. Yeah, it's great, fantastic for talking to you.
Oh, it's so good to be here. I've been so looking forward to it.
Yeah, ok, en direct ce soir. Donc, Tony Dolan, vocaliste, donc chanteur du groupe et bassiste du groupe Venom Inc. qui vient ce soir présenter donc le prochain album, qui sortira le 23, soit à peu près dans 10 jours très exactement. Le nouvel album donc des Venom Inc. There is only black. C'est un grand monsieur. Il a une carrière avec son groupe déjà Atomcraft. C'est un grand monsieur de la new wave of British heavy metal. Donc ce soir il est là pour présenter, donc je disais, cet album Venom Inc. Tony, the name of the show is 213 Rock, and the name of the web rock station based in Paris, France is Vinylestimes Classic Rock Radio. And thank you very much, of course, for accepting my invitation for tonight. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, baby, it's great to be at 213 Rock, and we all love the classic rock station, so that's fantastic. And to be in Paris while I'm in London at the same time is perfect.
Et oui, de London à Paris, de Paris à Londres ce soir en direct avec Tony Dolan. Donc je disais, Venom Inc. sortira donc son nouvel album la semaine prochaine, There is Only Black. Entre la nuit jeudi à vendredi, ce sera disponible à travers toutes les plateformes digitales et ensuite via le label Nuclear Blast. So Tony, in 10 days, your new album There is Only Black will be available for whole heavy metal fans of this world.
Yeah.
It will be a great moment, I guess. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. You know, it's been 2015 we began the journey, and I think around about 2017, 18, we put, or 2017, I think it was, we put out Ave. And, then we were just busy touring, and we didn't contemplate the next album. And then I had to have hip surgery after Wacken in 2019. Mm-hmm. So thought, while we recover, let's work on the new album. And then the pandemic hit. So for 2 years, we just took our time until the world came back. And now it's back, and now we get to release, and then we get to come and play, and I'm just so excited.
Effectivement qu'il est tout excité, le groupe aussi bien évidemment, c'est juste en 2019 après leur show au Wacken, hein, et puis en même temps il a subi une intervention chirurgicale du côté de sa hanche, donc il fallait qu'il fasse les choses, c'était nécessaire, et en même temps juste après ça, il avait beaucoup d'idées, ils se sont mis à l'écriture donc de ce nouvel album, il y avait beaucoup d'idées, hein, et puis il y a eu cette histoire de Covid qui est arrivée, qui a stoppé à peu près la planète, et puis en même temps donc c'était l'ordre du confinement, donc ils ont eu tout le temps necessary. So, and at that time you had a lot of ideas, just immediately after your Wacken show and just after your surgery, you got a lot of ideas in your head. You needed a lot of time, and the story of the COVID-19 happened and the world was in a confinement. I think this is the moment for writing some new songs.
Yeah, I mean, that was basically it. I mean, Mantas is he's always writing bits and pieces, and I tend to just keep the things inside me. And when we began to compose, he did some songs over there. I think he finished about 12 songs. I finished about 12 songs. We put them together, and we looked at how to make an album from that. We loved everything we did, but it was, they had to be the right songs in the right order. Because of pandemic, normally you would be struggling because you have a deadline to meet from the label. You have touring schedules to do. If you have other work, you have to make sure that fits. But what the pandemic did was, because it stopped everybody from traveling and staying at home, it just meant we had more time to do more songs and just to see where we went with it. So it was a good time for us. So there was no pressure. We could just take our time. So that's what we did.
Effectivement que le Covid leur a permis, sans pression, sans rien, parce que d'habitude les labels ils mettent des deadlines, ils mettent des dates pour apporter le nouvel album, parce que tout est assez strict. Là non, pas du tout, ils ont eu toute cette année-là en tout cas pour faire ce nouvel album. Chacun a apporté 12 titres, et très exactement, ils avaient d'énormes idées, hein. Ils en ont eu beaucoup, il fallait tout tester, hein. I imagine you must have written something like, as you said, 12 songs, you and Mantas. You tried many ideas because you have to feel that you had something big at that time. I think at the end, the demos, just the pre-production, I think you felt that you gave the best of yourself.
Yes, always what we do is we compete with ourselves. We don't compete with anybody else. We only compete with ourselves. And if we did Crucified, an album with Empire of Evil. We loved that album. We thought we did a great job. But for Ave, we wanted to be better than that. We wanted to challenge ourselves, to improve ourselves, to be better musicians and have come up with better ideas. And then we did the same thing on this. We wanted to be, even better. And I think it's quite different than Ave in the fact that Ave was, more atmospheric, and this is more aggressive. It's more angry. It's faster. It's not overproduced. It feels like the band is live. It's full of power and vitalness, and so we got to express ourselves without worrying about anything, which is fantastic. It's what you want to achieve as an artist, the freedom to just express yourself. And having the War Machine, Jeremy Kling, his only note that he had was to feel the music and play what you felt, and that was it. And that's exactly what he did. So it's a very exciting record.
Effectivement que c'est un disque très excitant. Ils ont donné le meilleur d'eux-mêmes, hein. Je disais, juste avant d'entrer en studio, après les démos, donc de la pré-prod, ils savaient qu'ils avaient quelque chose. Ils avaient tout donné, le meilleur d'eux-mêmes. Ils tenaient, ils avaient cette boule au ventre, effectivement. Pour eux, c'était un challenge. Il fallait prouver. Il fallait faire encore mieux que AV, hein, qui était aussi agressif, qui était aussi violent. Il fallait faire mieux, c'était impératif et ils ont réussi. Ils avaient toute cette excitation et en même temps c'était fantastique quoi. Et donc je dis, c'est tout simplement, ils ont eu toute cette liberté de s'exprimer musicalement et tout. C'est fort, c'est très très fort. And Tony, my first feeling when I listened the first time to the track opens the new album, How Many Can Die. The production is very natural. Your album is a human.
Yeah.
It's a live album. It's a very human.
Yeah, one of the things I always loved about, those early albums that I used to listen to, in the 70s and in the 80s, Motorhead and even Black Sabbath, and so there was a feeling that there was a band playing the songs. I remember listening to Raven's Rock Until You Drop, and there's lots of people in the studio. You can hear voices talking to each other. Morning and 1, 2, and you feel you were with the band. And I think for a fan, myself, speaking for myself, but I think generally for fans, you want to be able to connect to a band. And it's great to say, go and see a beautiful show. That's all presented very well and choreographed, but it's also nice to get into a show that is just evokes emotion and has energy and has a feeling that you just get swept away with. And I wanted that very much to be on the album, so that when you heard it, felt there was people playing and you were part of that. So hopefully sitting at home putting this record on, you're going to feel like you're in a club face to face with us, and that's what I wanted to get to, that kind of emotion.
Yeah, totally agree, very natural. Effectivement, la première fois lorsque j'ai entendu le titre d'ouverture de cet album How Many Can Die, qui est d'ailleurs aussi il y a un single et un clip vidéo disponible sur YouTube, je me suis dit waouh, la production elle est très humaine, elle est très vivante, elle est très naturelle. Il est totalement d'accord. Il a même comparé, il dit c'est dans la veine des Motorhead et des Black Sabbath, et puis en même temps de Raven, le Rock Until You Drop. C'est dans cette veine-là des albums naturels, mais qui sont très cogneurs, très féroces. Et c'est ça, c'est ce qu'il voulait. Il a été élevé avec ça, il a grandi avec ça, et il voulait absolument cette même intonation, ce même impact. Et Tony, I think the press and the media love this new album in Europe or maybe in the world. Yeah, it's totally deserved.
Thank you. I mean, so far, I have to say, because when you put an album out, you don't know what people are going to think. They may like it, they may not like it, and so you can't kind of guess your audience. You have to just be yourself. If you try and manipulate the record, the recording, the songs to try and please what you think is an audience, you will fail. You will fail. So what you do is you just you don't make it. I hear many artists say, we make the album to please ourselves, we don't care what anybody else thinks. But of course that's untrue, because of course they care what everybody thinks, because they want to sell records and they want people to like their music so they can tour and they can make a living. So that's a falsehood that people say. But you don't want to be judged. It's like, this is who we are. If you like it, that's great. If you don't like it, we can't do anything about that. But I think as long as you're being honest and as long as you put 100% into what you do, the fans will hear that. People will hear that and they will respond to that, because it will feel real, And yes, so far the feedback is been amazing. The reactions to the album is so amazing. It's kind of blowing my mind a little bit, because I didn't expect it. I wanted them to like it, just as I wanted them to like Avi, but the reaction is kind of taking our breath away a little bit.
Oh yeah, effectivement, lorsque vous sortez un album qui le dit, vous ne savez jamais quelle sera la réaction de les fans et en même temps de la presse et des médias. C'est toujours difficile. Et puis lorsque c'est arrivé, il était choqué totalement. Il a vu que les réactions étaient totalement bonnes, les feedbacks ont été superbes et ça l'a encouragé effectivement, même sur scène, etc. Mais bon, il est très heureux en tout cas. Même s'il y a eu quelques commentaires un peu négatifs, c'est pas grave, ils s'en foutent. Eux, ils savent qu'ils ont donné le meilleur d'eux-mêmes. Ils ont fait un super disque, ils l'ont mixé aussi. C'est dingue. Ce disque, il est vraiment naturel et c'est vraiment un beau morceau, en tout cas, the new wave of British heavy metal. Anthony, what about the track Infinitum? The drum parts were recorded in a Panzer tank because the drum sound is incredible. It's so heavy, and the double bass, it's so fast.
Oh yeah. That's the war machine for you.
Yes.
Maybe he is a war machine. I think that's, again, the advantage we had, because we couldn't travel with pandemic, was I could record bass and vocals in London at my place. And Mantas has his studio in Portugal. And of course, Jeremy War Machine, he has his studio in Tampa, Florida. So, we could go in and actually record our instruments in an environment that we would do if we were in a studio together. And so that freedom to play, and of course, that's how he plays. That's the power he puts in. And so, he's a phenomenal drummer. He has an old school head and a new school style. And Abaddon, I have to say, would hit the drums like with these tree trunks so hard that I was like, wow, he hits so hard. So maybe he didn't have the finesse of a Dave Lombardo or
yes,
Scaglione or somebody like that. But
TJ Scaglione. TJ Scaglione, the drummer. He played with Slayer a couple of times, couple of weeks. Brilliant drummer, TJ Scaglione. I saw him with MOD. Wow, what a long time.
There you are then,
what a long time. It's amazing drummer. Alors, effectivement, le titre Infinitum, et c'est le batteur War Machine, hein. C'est une tuerie totale. Je lui ai demandé s'il n'avait pas enregistré carrément le son de batterie dans un tank, hein, dans un Panzer. Il a été mort de rire parce que le son il est énorme, quoi. Ça va à 2000 à l'heure, hein. Il l'a fait du côté de son studio en Floride. C'est vraiment bon, hein. Le batteur il arrive à alterner entre le 80s et le moderne. Ça va à 2000 à l'heure. Il l'a comparé à Dave Lombardo, il l'a comparé à TJ Scaglione. Ça fait très longtemps que j'ai pas entendu parler de ce batteur. Ce mec était incroyable, effectivement. Je l'ai rencontré une fois à Paris lors d'un concert de MOD, TJ Scaglione. Il a même joué avec Slayer. C'était la transition lorsque la première fois après Season in the Abyss, lorsque Dave Lombardo avait quitté Slayer, c'est lui qui l'avait remplacé. And what about Mantas riff? Because it's like a razor blade. The precision of the riff are crazy of Mantas, of this new album.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's stylistically, because people would say, how do you get that sound to Jeff? And, and it's very, very simple. It's, he has a distortion pedal, a chorus pedal for soloing, and he goes through a Marshall. Very simple. And what they don't realize is you could have the same setup for yourself, but you wouldn't sound like him, because it's about the player. You may not like Yngwie Malmsteen, or you may love Yngwie Malmsteen, but certainly anybody hears him play knows who it is. Same with Steve Vai, the same with John Lord on keyboards, the same with John Bonham on drums, the same with Tony Iommi. It's the player. You hear the player and you hear how they play, and it just, who it is, and that's how Jeff approaches it. And on this one, he cut the distortion. He doesn't have too much distortion, but he almost cut it to clean guitar so that you could hear that cutting edge to it, because it just seemed to want to have that kind of violence to it, So it's a very expressive record in that way, So even with the bass, we reduced the amount of gain on there, so I don't have totally distorted bass. It, so you can hear all the bass parts thumping in there, and you can hear the changes, so you can hear us playing everything, and that was a big key for us. It was so frantic, it was so fast, it was so technically, we had to move very quickly on it. We wanted people to hear us doing it rather than lose it in just a big mush of sound,
Ok, effectivement, les riffs de Mantas sont acérés comme tels que des rasoirs, hein. La précision est incroyable, quoi, hein. Et puis lui, carrément, on lui a demandé, mais il y a des gens qui ont demandé à Mantas, mais comment t'as fait pour ce nouvel album, que ça soit aussi précis? En fait, il a été tout simple, c'était tout simple. Il s'est juste branché avec sa disto et son baff, tout simplement, et puis il a joué. En fait, il a tout dans les doigts, quoi. Et ça joue, quoi. Et ça va très vite, et puis ça va vite, c'est technique. Et en même temps, il compare, hein. Il a son son unique, comme Hamstin a son son, comme Steve Vai, comme Tommy Iommi. Ils ont leur propre son, tout est dans les doigts. I said everything is in the fingers, everything is in the touch. This is the precision.
Yep, that's it. Yeah, that's it. It's just in that precision. It's just in how the person is. And it's very, it's the same thing on the album. Our personality is on the album. Who we are is on the album. It's distinctive because of that. And that's how you get that kind of connection. When you become the music, it becomes so real. It's just a part of your personality, like speaking a language or your accent or how you look. It becomes part of your identity, and definitely that's on there.
Ouais, c'est la connexion avec la musique, hein. C'est ainsi que donc il décrit effectivement toutes les émotions et le toucher, hein, qui est le toucher de guitare qu'a Mantas, hein, concernant pour tous les riffs de cet album, parce qu'il y a des riffs, hein, il y a du très très beau riff. And what about the single "Come to Me" is a pure classic of new wave of British heavy metal. You know what? I want to bang my head.
Brilliant, that's great. Yeah. Well, yeah, that as the composition, I'm that's one of my compositions, and I wanted that to be, because I felt that the album was progressive in a way. It was the next step up from Ave, which was our platform. I wanted it to feel a bit more vibrant, but I still wanted to keep connected to Ave. And so Come to Me, like the video we put together, Andy Pilkington and Very Metal Art put for us, connects the two albums. I feel, it still has that darkness, that mystique, that whole ritual to it, which some of the other tracks don't have. So that kind of a bridging song for me between the two albums. Hopefully people will say that, but it's become one of our favorite tracks,
Ouais, c'est son titre favori.
It's
Sorry?
Sorry, I was just going to say, each time we talk about a track, to me, because people can't get it till the 23rd of September, it feels like it's the tip of the iceberg,
Okay.
Like people would hear 3 or 4 tracks. Like the title track comes out this month as well, so that comes out in a few days. The title track video comes out, again another lyric video, only because we're unable to be in the same place at the same time, but so that comes out in a few days. There's Only Black, and I think people will see there's a difference between that and the other tracks they've heard. So the thing is moving like an iceberg. You think you can see how much is there, but there's so much left under the water you haven't seen yet. So it's quite exciting for that point of view.
Ok, alors donc là on va essayer donc de traduire tout ça. Effectivement, donc le titre Come to Me, c'est vraiment un beau titre, hein. Il voulait rester connecté, hein, quand il l'a fait. Il voulait rester connecté avec quelque chose de heavy, donc de l'album, du premier album sorti en 2018, hein, je crois, de mémoire. Et donc il voulait rester avec ce côté darkness, ce côté mystique, hein. Il voulait absolument, c'était un peu ça l'orientation musicale et l'orientation donc de l'album heavy. Et c'est ce titre, hein, qui fait le lien entre ces deux albums. C'est aussi un de ses titres favoris, hein, dans la tradition bien évidemment de la new wave of British heavy metal, et c'était cette connexion qui était très importante pour lui, quoi. And there are another great titles like Don't Feed Me Your Lies, okay, for example. Yes, it is another single, and this single reached a lot of people on YouTube.
Yeah, that was amazing. And I think, when we put the first single out, because the label decided what songs would go, because we said, look, we can't pick, so why don't you choose the singles and which ones go when? And they picked them, and in that order. And the first one, How Many Can Die, just happened to go out when Ukraine was invaded by Russia, so people thought it was about all of that, which it wasn't. But again, it was pertinent to what was happening. How many people have to die before we stop killing people, basically was the idea.
Okay.
And then, Don't Feed Me Your Lies went out, and I think even more so, we were in the situation where people were questioning the pandemic. Was it real or was it not? We had world economic disasters. We knew that our leaders had been lying. There was all the voting machine things going on with Donald Trump and Joe Biden in America, and the Russians and the Chinese, and then our own prime minister, who made our queen, who just died, made our queen sit by herself in a church to bury her husband of 70 years or whatever it was, while he was having a party in his house, So it's like, when we put out Don't Feed Me Your Lies, it just seemed to connect with so many people. And I think in a week we hit over 200,000 on the YouTube, and that wasn't even counting the streams. We're racing up in the streaming charts. So, I guess we just happened to put the stuff out at the right time to connect to people where what we were saying kind of meant something to them.
Alors oui, effectivement. Donc je disais tout à l'heure, j'ai juste oublié une petite information qui était très importante dans la traduction précédente, qu'il y a d'ici la semaine prochaine, il y aura déjà Only Black, un nouveau lyric vidéo, donc qui devrait arriver. Et puis en même temps, concernant donc ce titre, effectivement, le Don't Feed Me Your Lies, c'est un peu le côté Operation Mindcrime concernant ce titre. Ça parle effectivement de la guerre, ça parle des relations, ça parle aussi donc de la pandémie, ça parle des relations internationales. Il y a un côté politique à ce titre et de la guerre, combien encore de morts, etc. Donc les lyrics sont très important concernant ce titre. And there is another track for me is the best track of the album. This is Tyrant. I love this track. It's very heavy.
Okay.
Yes. You know what?
Well,
what? I love this song because I love the harmony of Mantas at the end of the song.
Yeah.
The melody, the harmony and the melody are very at the end of the song are beautiful.
Yeah, classic Mantas too. And he had some phrasing, and I sent him How Many Can Die, and he just connected with it straight away. He connected with it lyrically, he connected with the idea, and then he went and wrote Tyrant. So that kind of inspired that. And I think they're composites of each other. They're complementary to each other. Yeah. One is very me, it's very punky, very violent, very like, and the other one is very eloquent, and very Mantas, exploring the harmony and the So I'm not surprised. Ouais. They're kind of a bookend songs, those two. They're wonderful, yeah. So
ouais,
glad you like that.
Effectivement que c'est une masterpiece, ce titre, il est fantastique, Tyrant. Il est d'accord avec moi aussi en même temps. Ce titre, il y a des harmonies à la fin. Vous l'entendrez dans 2 semaines, lors du retour pour la saison 5 de 113 Rock, puisque l'album sortira le 23 septembre. Et en même temps, donc ce titre, il est fantastique. Il y a des harmonies à la fin où Mantas se lâche. C'est très mélodique, c'est très heavy, c'est beau, c'est vraiment très très beau. And have you seen the reactions, the feedbacks of your fans about the singles available on YouTube? Because the comments are absolutely fantastic, and your fans come from all over the world in different languages. They leave some feedback on YouTube.
Well, it's quite interesting. We did Alcatraz during the anniversary of the black metal album, and we also did Bloodstock the same. And when we did the signing sessions of both of those, there was lots of young people, like 17, 18,
that's right,
20s, all coming, and they were from every place on the planet, and it was quite surprising to us. I mean, I don't, personally, usually people send me things, I try not to go looking at all the comments. Mantas doesn't at all. He's not interested to read any of that, Of course, we appreciate what they may say, but, generally from me, I usually go in there and get a shit kicking because I'm people just want to hate and stuff, and and that's okay, that's what happens. But I want to talk to them and find out why they're saying these things. Why do you feel that, And generally, it's for no reason other than they just want to be opposed to everybody else. But I think a good lesson to learn for anybody who's creating music and where you're going to be judged by other people is to always reassure yourself. I would then go to something like Nothing Else Matters by Metallica, and if you go on their YouTube and have a look at that song, it's got, I don't know, 50 million likes or whatever it is. It's like, millions. But there's like 20,000 thumbs down and there's lots of bad comments. And you think, right, so it doesn't matter whether you're a new band with 1 song and 10 fans or whether you're a band with 100 million fans, you're still going to get those people who are not going to like it and they want to express themselves about that verbally. And so I kind of try and stay away from that and let the fans just talk amongst themselves. What always puzzles me is when people go on the internet in particular, it's like, I was a huge fan of Iron Maiden, the first 2 albums. Diano I loved, And then I saw a band called Samson, and I didn't kind of like the singing. It wasn't my style. I didn't kind of like that. I liked the more aggressive stuff. And then when Paul Di'Anno was fired from Iron Maiden, they got a new singer in. I was thinking, no, that's really, oh shit, and I hope he's good. And it was the singer from Samson. It was Bruce. And I was like, no, because I just thought, oh my God. Now, I haven't listened to Iron Maiden since then, you know, and that's not because I don't think they're a great band, because they're fantastic guys. Nico's a lovely friend, and they're really great guys, and they're a brilliant band, and they're all superb musicians, and they produce a wealth of incredible material. But you know, I loved those first albums, and they meant something to me, and then it changed. But I wouldn't, even as a fan as that, I wouldn't go to Bruce Dickinson's page when they release an album just to tell him he was shit because I like Paul Di'Anno. You know, it's like, why would I do that? You know, that doesn't mean that he's not producing or he can't sing or they're not an amazing band. It doesn't really speak to my way of being. You know, I prefer something else like Benediction or Mayhem or something. So, you know, I never understand why people feel the need to go and tell people they suck when then they don't like that kind of music anyway, or they don't like that band. If I don't want to have a cup of coffee, I don't phone up Nescafe or Nestle and tell them how shit their coffee is. I just don't drink coffee. You know, I just drink tea.
Ok.
So, it's a weird thing. It's a weird.
Ok, alors là, c'est long. Effectivement, donc au départ, la question était vraiment de savoir s'il suivait un petit peu l'actualité sur les réseaux sociaux et ce que pensent les fans concernant la sortie des 3 singles qui sont disponibles sur les réseaux sociaux. Alors lui, il a été très étonné, effectivement. Il lit toujours les commentaires et tout. Ça le fait rire et en même temps, ça lui fait plaisir. Il y a du bon, il y a du très très bon parfois. Il y a un ou deux jaloux, c'est pas très grave, c'est la vie, c'est comme ça, quoi. Et en même temps, il a aussi été, donc lors de leur récent show, du côté du Alcatraz, du côté du Bloodstock Festival, il a rencontré pas mal de fans, même des très jeunes, des 15, 16, 17 ans, et des fans qui venaient aussi des 4 coins du monde. Et pour lui, c'était dingue, quoi, de voir des fans aussi jeunes connaître un aussi vieux groupe tel que, effectivement, Venom Inc., avec évidemment Mantas, groupe de Mantas a plus de carrière, qui a plus de 40 ans de carrière, et puis aussi en même temps, Tony qui a plus de 40 ans de carrière avec son groupe aussi qui était Atomcraft auparavant. Ouais, alors donc c'était incroyable de voir tout ça, de faire des signing sessions, rencontrer les gens, serrer des mains, et puis et voilà, c'est le heavy metal. Il est aussi fan, vous l'avez compris, des 2 albums, des 2 premiers albums avec Paul Di'Anno d'Iron Maiden. Le reste avec Bruce Dickinson, c'est pas sa tasse de thé. En même temps, bon, il est aussi fan, il aurait préféré qu'il reste avec Samson, etc. Bon, il a raconté toute une histoire, c'est son opinion en tout cas, effectivement. 213 Rock, Vinylestimes, le classic rock radio ce soir en direct. Tony Dolan, There Is Only Black, qui sortira la semaine prochaine, l'album, soit le 23 septembre prochain. Ce sera disponible en LP, en CD, digital album avec des limited éditions. Les vinyles sont super beaux en tout cas, ils sont absolument magnifiques. Voici le track listing. L'album démarra avec How Many Can Die. En 2, il y aura Infinitum. En 3, Come To Me. En 4, There Is Only Black. Un clip vidéo lyrique va être disponible un peu avant la sortie de l'album. En 5, Tyrant, j'adore ce titre, une masterpiece of heavy metal. En 6, Don't Feed Me Your Lies. En 7, Man As Good. En 8, Burn Liar Burn. En 9, 9. En 10, Rampant. En 11, The Dance. Et pour terminer l'album Inferno, 213 Rock, Vinylestimes, Classic Rock Radio. Tout de suite, on va parler concert. So, black metal, lay down your soul to the ghost roll. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So,
yeah, that's what we love.
Yes. So on October 2, there is a big festival, the Keep It True. The program is fantastic. We play on Sunday.
Yes. Yeah, we have 3 shows in Italy where we're just playing on Venom Inc. And then we go to Keep It True to close the festival. Saxons on the day before.
Yes.
They close. And then we close, but we're doing the 1984 set from the Hammersmith Odeon, which went out on video. And so it's a kind of a retro thing. So we just thought we'd celebrate, you know, the years of black metal, and we'd celebrate the glory that was the Venom days. for anybody who saw that show on video or was there, it's going to be nostalgic, and for the younger people who never got to see that, they're going to see it. So we're quite excited. That's going to be good.
Ok, effectivement, hein, donc le 2 octobre prochain au Kipitro, il y a le super festival. Ils joueront le dimanche, hein, juste avant il y aura Riot 5. Ça va être dingue, hein. C'est une belle programmation, hein. Juste pour le samedi, il y aura un hommage à Grim Reaper. Just one question, Grim Reaper is on the festival. Who will be the singer?
Well, there's going to be some guests. We
okay.
We wanted to get Todd Lahore. Oliver tried to get Todd Lahore because a big fan, and Doro, but they were busy,
okay.
So it's going to be. I was going to play some bass on some of Grim Reaper songs, but of course we'll be in Italy at the same time, so I can't get there until the Sunday. So, but yeah, it's going to be a celebration of Steve and Grim Reaper. His son will be there. The rest of the guys will be there, and we'll just guest people in so they can tribute Steve,
okay.
which will be wonderful.
Ok,
so wonderful.
Donc le vendredi 30 à l'affiche du Kipitro, le Rising 2 du côté de l'Allemagne. Donc le 30 septembre, Grim Reaper. Donc ça sera plus un tribute avec effectivement des invités au chant, hein, notamment Doro, vous l'avez entendu, et puis bien d'autres. Ils lui ont demandé s'il pouvait jouer de la basse et venir. Au même moment, ce jour-là, il sera en Italie, donc il ne pouvait pas. Et l'affiche, elle est dingue quand même, hein. Vous aurez le samedi, il y aura Saxon juste avant, Diamond Head, Paul Diano, Tigers of Pantang, Savage. Ça va être dingue. Ça va être vraiment dingue. Et puis le dimanche, Venom Inc. Donc en plus, donc pour les nostalgiques, il y aura un show effectivement avec des anciens titres, avec des nouveaux titres. Ça va être magnifique, je pense. Juste avant eux, il y aura Riot 5, il y aura Satan, il y aura Tyrant, il y aura Cloven Hoof, Gravestone, Torch. Ça va être génial. The lineup of the festival is absolutely fantastic this year. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a corker. Oliver Weishammer, he's just a genius, and he just puts together the best shows. The technicians there are amazing. You always just over 2,000 fans in this hall, and it's blinding. It's just the best time, the best kind of festival, and it's all about the music. It's all about the fans and the music. That's one of Oliver's big things. This is music for music fans. That's what it's about. So he delivers every time.
Voilà.
So it's quite exciting.
Effectivement, que le Kipitro, il a dit c'est best festival. Ça, c'est une belle programmation heavy metal pour ceux qui aiment la musique. Vous allez adorer. So just before the end, Tony, please, maybe a French tour for next year, something like that, because in France I think there is some people want to see you, because you played in Châteauroux a couple of weeks in France.
Yes. I mean, well, we will be coming. The thing that I always never understood was in France is our sister country, being British, and in the 80s we would travel to Germany, we'd travel to Scandinavia, we'd go to Italy or Greece, but we don't Spain. We'd travel through France, and I always thought, why are we not stopping in France? It didn't make any sense to me. So since Empire of Evil, our friends at Theme, where we would go, the band gang, David and Sylvain and all them, became such like family. And I made it my point to go. We're not going through France to get to anywhere. If we're in France, we play in France. And I don't care if there's 10 people or 10,000 people, but we play. And so, being able to be at Hellfest was incredible. But yeah, so we have 3 shows, then we do Keep It True in Italy, then Keep It True in Germany. Then we have 3 black metal anniversary shows in Finland, Sweden, and Norway. And then we go to America to do a short run for the east side of America. And then the gap between then and next year, which is so around about January, February, we're going to be doing the run in France, in Europe. So we'll do a British show. Of course, I want to play Paris, of course, because it's incredible. So we will be doing a run through Europe. So just keep your eyes peeled. Keep checking on our social media. Go to our webpage at venominc.co.uk. Check our Facebook, our official page there, our official page on Instagram. And if all of that fails, then come and hit me up on I'm Tony Dolan and Tony Dolan 2, or Jeff Dunn, Mantas Dunn, he's on there too. So just come and hit us up and chat and get the information you need. No worries.
Oh, effectivement, vous l'avez entendu, hein, il espère venir jouer en France. Hein. Pendant des années, ils ont traversé toute l'Europe. À chaque fois, ils traversaient donc pour la France, hein, pour aller en Espagne, mais jamais ils s'arrêtaient pour jouer. Lui, il posait toujours la question, mais pourquoi on joue pas en France? Peu importe, hein, si on joue devant 10 personnes, 15 personnes, 1000, 3000 personnes, c'est pas grave. Moi, j'ai envie de jouer. Venom Inc. doit jouer effectivement en France. Voilà ce qu'il pense en tout cas. Et en même temps, il a donné aussi tous les contacts, hein, sur lesquels vous pouvez chatter avec lui. Il est là, en tout cas, en direct ce soir. 213 Rock, Vinylestimes, the Classic Rock Radio. So, Tony, thank you very much for this live interview. Wow.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes. Just wait a second. Do you have a message for the audience, for your fans are listening tonight, please? Are listening us tonight?
Tout à l'heure. Merci beaucoup, and thank you for your support over the years, not just for me and my band and my Venom and Venom Inc. and Empire of Evil, Atomcraft, but for Venom, for Mantas, for Zero Tolerance, for the whole career of Venom, from playing the Zenith to Espace Planade to every show we've done, Petit Le Bain, everything, thank you so much for being there for us and supporting us so much. Thank you to Metallion and Chris with Grays and just Laurent and just the most amazing people. And so we hope to see you very, very soon. Have some perfect French wine with some perfect French food with some perfect French company. And I look forward to it very, very much. Thank you so much.
Merci beaucoup. Tony Dolan était en direct ce soir dans 213 Rock, Vinylestimes, The Classic Rock Radio, Venom Inc. There is Honey Black. L'album disponible dans 2 semaines à peu près, le 23 septembre prochain. 213 Rock, Vinylestimes, Classic Rock Radio. Voici tout de suite le single Come to Me. 213 Rock, Vinylestimes, your Classic Rock Radio.
With
Hell yeah, on your web rock station, on Vinyl Times, the classic rock radio. Fantastique live interview avec Tony Dolan ce soir, hein, qui était basé sur Londres et qui nous appelait pour présenter le nouvel album de Venom qui sortira, Venom Inc., qui sortira dans 2 semaines, très exactement, le 23 septembre. There is Only Black, Venom Inc. Fantastique, en tout cas, l'album sera disponible en LP, en CD, digital album, plus limited edition. Podcast, je vais le bosser tout de suite pour que vous puissiez l'avoir demain. Donc ça sera le doc qui va s'en charger, en tout cas. Super cool. Merci à lui aussi pour toute la partie technique. Vinylestimes Classic Rock Radio, live interview fantastique. N'oubliez pas, Vinylestimes Classic Rock Radio, c'est moi-même, le doc, la Madame Maroc. Et puis donc le doc, c'est lui qui s'occupe de toutes les chroniques, tous les podcasts, toute la partie technique. C'est un boulot au quotidien de dingue, mais vraiment de dingue, quoi. 213 Rock, c'est tous les soirs de la semaine, du lundi au vendredi à partir de 20h. C'est aussi le samedi et le dimanche avec le doc dans son émission Last Ride. Voilà, la saison 4 touche à sa fin. 213 Rock sera de retour le lundi 26 septembre et j'espère qu'on pourra avoir une live interview sur les coups de 22h avec le groupe Wednesday 13 qui a déjà un single de malade puisque le nouvel album sortira le 17 octobre. S'intitulera Horrifier. 213 Rock, Vinyl Times, Classic Rock Radio. Merci en tout cas pour toutes ces années, pour toutes ces saisons. On se retrouve très exactement le lundi. Je viens de le dire, hein, le lundi 26 septembre à partir de 20h. Voilà, c'est terminé pour ce soir et n'oubliez pas de parler de vos amis Vinylestimes, de visiter le site vinylestimes.fr. Merci encore, à dans 15 jours, 213 Rock.